You were raised to hold your breath carries on. Your breath carries calm. Your body feels open and light. Your heart rests in peace. Your spirit feels supported. You move with steady strength. You are guided from within. Your energy flows easily. Your path feels clear. You stand in quiet confidence. Your presence is powerful and calm. Your thoughts open like morning light. Your soul expands gently. You grow with ease today. Every breath brings you balance. Every moment brings you clarity. Your inner voice speaks truth. You walk into this day with warmth. You are aligned. You are ready. You are ready.
she's hot, he's hot, I'm hot, she's hot, this, I'm hot, she's hot, he's hot, I'm hot, she's hot, this, I'm hot, she's hot, he's hot, I'm hot, she's hot, this, I'm hot, she's hot, he's hot, I'm hot, she's hot, this, hot, 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 I'm hot, she's hot, he's hot, she's hot. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot. Bring me some ice, not too hot for that. I'm cool, I'm smooth, I'm grooving back. I'm me, I'm him, I'm he, not she. Whole damn crowd wanna vibe with me. I'm fire, I'm lit, gotta cool me down, but you can't take my throne, can't snatch my crown. Step in the room, I'm not giving fear. He's so strong, you can't live in here. Bass not heavy, whole block feel. Tell me what's real, yo, I'm too chill. She's hot, he's hot, she's hot. That's not. Yes, yes. That's fine. Who are you? I don't really care. I'm two pro hands in the air. Don't stop, get it, grind to the sound. Bounce so hard, shake the whole block down. Wanna rock, 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 wanna rock. Street lights glow and the speakers pop. Everybody at the car, we don't stop. I'm hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot, he's hot. That's not. I'm hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. Dirty South, don't stop. I'm hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. That's not. I'm hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. Dirty South, don't stop. I'm hot, don't stop, 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 don't stop. I'm hot, she's hot, he's hot. That's not. She's hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. Dirty South, don't stop.
I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I pat my soul, I pat my mind. What I lost with you, I never find, but I don't need love that cut so deep. I got my power that's mine to keep. I won't beg, I won't crawl. Watch me rise when you watch me fall. No more game, no hesitation. This is my final declaration. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight. Got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight. Got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue. I ain't gotta argue, pride, I'll be alright. Argue. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright.
I'm walking out, door wide open, no more chains, my word is spoken. My life, it's my. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. I ain't gotta argue. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta argue, I'll be alright. I ain't argue. I ain't gotta argue, I ain't gotta fight, got my keys, my pride, I'll be alright. Walking now, yeah, I'm free tonight, no more pain. I claim my life.
Fire.
Hey everybody, this is Bill Rochelle, but hold on for a second. I'm still sharing. Hey everyone, this is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill, and welcome to UBU Live. This is my final episode for the season, and I want to talk to you guys about the intro and what it represents to me. So, right now, my current state of mind is calm. It really is. And I have an entire playlist of calm. So the first video that you saw was what I wake up to now. And it's something that I created for me that will, it's like a manifestation video. It's like a reminder video. And I have 3 of them. And it really is calming and it's great. And it helps me to align my energy before I even step out of bed. After that, my music collection is a series of jazz and blues stuff. It's very, very mellow. However, most of you guys know me from the upbeat songs that I play. So I wanted to include that. And I just repurposed some songs I had before, added some videos, and merged 2 dance songs that I had into basically one long extended version. And the first one was I'm Hot. And if anyone understands like Paris Hilton back in the day when we were all doing clubs, kind of, well, not you, Kinga, I was doing the clubs back then. You were probably in high school. Everything was hot. And that meant like, okay, that's great. It wasn't a sexual thing. It was like, that's hot. And when, just to be clear, when there's a sketch of a younger version of myself comes up, that's a 15-year-old kid. And I'm not going to say it specifically, but we understand what's happened with 14 and 15-year-olds right now. And that's when it goes, that's not. So that's a very subliminal message to what's going on in the world today. The other part, the second one, I'm not going to argue, I'm not going to fight. And I love my mom, but if anyone knows my story, you know that I left house at 16 because my mom and I didn't get along. And what I said to her in that moment in an argument was, I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to fight. I got my keys, my pride, I'm out. And so really, that is exactly what I said in that moment. And so it's like a full circle thing, because if you've been on this journey with me, you know that I've unpacked in the last 8 months a ton of things. I've rediscovered myself. I've kind of gone into this line of self-discovery, rediscovery, realignment, and hope. And within all of that, I have found a purpose, a voice, and a following I did not expect. And that's phenomenal. I started my live on LinkedIn sometime late in January, but I didn't go onto YouTube until April. So, it took me a couple of months to like do it, and it's like one here and one there. But then by April, I was like, I'm going to really start focusing on this. So what you guys are looking at is 8 months worth of me just putting myself out there. And I was surprised because yesterday, Kinga and I went live for the first time on Substack. And while we were on Substack, I made a statement and I said, I have not worked on my Substack audience. LinkedIn and YouTube are doing fine. Do you remember that, Kinga?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had 802 followers when I made that statement. When I woke up this morning, I had 919.
Nice.
I don't know what happened overnight. I have not been promoting on YouTube, nothing. So I'm not sure because Substack it repurposes all of our, did you see the shorts?
Yes.
It repurposes
Yes.
all of our shorts. There were like 38 of them. I posted
Yeah.
everywhere. So the only thing that I can think of is that those shorts got posted to YouTube and just inadvertently, not even trying,
Just being you.
I gained 117 followers. Is that important? Yeah, it is. I'm going to say for me, it's exciting because
Mhm.
I am a builder. That's what I like to do. I
Yeah.
like to create and build. And so those things are telling me people are watching, that there's
Yeah.
a out there that's receiving my message.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the last thing is I just started just a week ago, really focusing in on my Substack. It hasn't been 30 days. It hasn't been 30 days. When I started this, I had 40 subscribers. This morning I had 92. So in less than a month, I basically doubled that. And why am I talking about that? Because when you are searching for a job and you're like, can I, should I? And you jump into something that you have no idea how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And you are an introvert that's not used to talking in public forums. I'm used to doing trainings, 250 people or 20. I do it, but this is new to me, and I have pride in the fact that if someone asks me, "What did you do with your year?" I can say, "I built a following. I created a podcast that has a purpose. That I've been trying to be an advocate for women's rights, men's rights, gay rights, black, white, everybody's rights, civil rights."
Right.
And I've also used it to uplift others.
Yeah.
So for all of that, I'm not bragging about my followers, but I am saying I am fucking good at what I do, and I'm excited about it. It gave me a lift. And with that said, because I told you guys that I do like uplifting others, I do want to highlight Netta Faye and BFM on Substack. They are my people of the week, and I'll tell you why. Netta Faye on Substack, everyone should follow her, did something that she didn't have to do. She listened to me. And when I said, listen to me, I was asking her about something that had nothing to do with her, just someone that she knew. And she heard me out and she's like, it's going to be okay. And that's all I needed to hear. I wanted someone to kind of hear that I felt bad about whatever happened. As Kinga understands, I am very misunderstood, but if I know better, I do better. And that's the message I wanted to convey. So that's why I want to thank Netta, because she didn't even have to reply to me, but she did. And she wasn't rude. She was just like, that's not my channel and it's all going to work out. Don't worry about it. And then the other one, and then I'm going to throw to Kinga, so we'll be ready. The other one is BFM on Substack, and it's actually BFM Hub, but it's called Black Facts Matter. And the reason why I love that, number one, is what I don't like about it is I start to call people young man because I'm everyone's senior at this point. But it's this young guy that is out there delivering facts about the Black community, about our history, and about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
That people aren't telling. And so you don't have to be Black to understand it. You just need to be you have to have a desire to understand.
Right.
And over to you, Kinga.
Well, I mean, I think it's so important that we have these stories and we have information and we'll get into it more throughout this episode, but we're talking about truths and facts and how we form our opinion and information. And so having that readily available to us and having that curiosity so that we can understand and build that empathy and getting our word and our message out there is so important. And it's awesome that you have more reach because we are passionate people, and so I'm excited that we're amplifying that reach. That's the whole goal, right? Like that's why we do what we do, is because we want to be able to get that message out there to more people, and the more that we can communicate this information, and so now more people know about these facts that they can have access to. We can share that, and it won't get buried in a lot of the misinformation that we have out there. Over to you.
Thank you, Kinga. We worked on that all like for hours yesterday. Because why we think that's funny is because Kinga and I both have very like excited energy, and then when we start talking, we just like yeah. But we want to make sure we're bringing a conversation that everyone can follow. So instead of tripping over each other, we're going to go over to you, Kinga, because she has an opinion, and I have an opinion, and I don't want to take her pause as my way of jumping in. Like I'm waiting to say something. I want to take it as, are you done with your thought? I love the way you structured or said about the BFM, and this is a great place to go. One of the things I want to make very clear on today's show is that neither one of us are looking for likes.
Yeah.
We're looking for action.
Yeah.
Action. So I appreciate the fact that you guys like what we're saying, but the action would be, if you really are listening to what we're laying down here right now, is that you would go, if you're on Substack, to NetFA or to BFM Hub, you would subscribe to their channels and you would interact. That is what we want. We don't want to say, oh, that's great. We all need to take action. And while I'm talking about that, and you'll hear more about this later, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling Aaron Gibson's information on all of his channels. The reason for that is I'm not promoting, well, I am promoting Aaron Gibson, but Kinga and I will be having a conversation about a project that we're very, very passionate about. And in that conversation, any replies need to go to one of these addresses at the bottom of the screen. And it's because we want to keep everything centralized. So he will get all the data. We are messengers and we are soldiers and we are riding with him. That's why, by the way, I don't know if anyone saw that, but right before I ended, it said Fire Riders. And it was from our November 23rd special that we had, Darren and I. I threw that in because he called me and he said, Fire Riders Unite. And so I'm like, I just threw that in as because it's going to be a topic. Plus, for this year, that was a pivotal moment for me on my show. And Gina Ballerin was a pivotal moment on my show. And last week, Kinga, as a result of that show, Kinga and I had a pivotal moment in our relationship and how we communicate with each other. And so everything that you're seeing has an intention. There is no competition. There is no egos. There is no what's in it for me. And there is no quid pro quo in anything that we do. So my friend wrote something yesterday that was beautiful. And part of it was, I want to be a contributor equals I want access to your network. And originally I thought, well, that's not what I mean when I say collaborators. And then as I read down, this is why we need to let people finish their sentences and I need to finish reading. There was a very big compliment in there for me. And so read it, not just the highlights, read it. Over to you, Kinga.
Yeah, and so thank you. And to talk about the Black Facts Matter, it's not just to go subscribe. It's to go listen and to be curious, ask questions. It's to take, it's not just to go support and say like that too, right? And for me, it's always around like we care about these things because it triggered something that we're like, hey, this is important. And if we're supporting one another, then you understand me enough that you're trusting me enough, and I appreciate that. So let's pause for a second and really hear each other and say, and if you're kind of like, well, why is that important to you? I didn't quite catch it, right? Then ask me. Then at least ask and say, well, what was it that was jumped out at you about this, that you think is unique or special, or what do they, stand out more that you find than anywhere else, so that we can have that opportunity to open that dialogue. Because I think so often we kind of go, oh, I don't think that applies to me, and we brush things off when maybe it could be a really eye-opening experience. And so I think that is just really important to do. So yeah, and then I do sometimes write kind of lengthy posts, and so I appreciate that you took the time to kind of read past what might turn you off, because I tend to be pretty controversial in how I try to get people's attention, because when you meet me, I'm not necessarily as controversial in person, and so sometimes I can be. I can be pretty feisty in person too, but I know that the way to kind of get people's attention, and it's not to follow the hook. This is just kind of how I am. I'm sassy in person too, but like I like to kind of like, it's to wake people up. Hey, like, we're kind of in a zombie mode in general, and I think that making a point, I like a little drama. I think that people like, you pay more attention when somebody's trying to make a point. And so that's always kind of been effective for me, is to use a way to try to really grab people's attention, to make a point, and using a little dramatic effect doesn't hurt anyone. And so your intro to me was super fun. We talked about that, having kind of this smooth, yes, we're kind of, we're zen, we can be chill, but then we can also like amp it up and be excited. And that is within us, to be those kind of people. I think that's within everybody. And that's okay. And we don't have to pretend like we're just, no, I'm always chill, and I don't have it within me to be fired up too. So yeah, that's over to you.
Thank you, Kinga. See, we're getting better at this. So I want to urge Urbana Gypsy, please, since you
Sharon,
know
right?
since you're on Substack, please, 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 if you could, and if it resonates with you, check these guys out. Check them out. BFM and Netafe, and tell us what you think. Just review their content. If it resonates with you, great. And the other point I want to make, and I thank you very much for concentrating on the BFM, Kinga, is that Black history is American history. It's just not the history that we've been taught.
Yeah.
So that's why a platform like this makes the world a difference.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of our history is getting erased actively. So I think that
Why? Just why?
So,
and he knows we're both squirrels, right? My ginger snaps are burning. I'm assuming you're making ginger snaps. I'm not going to ask what your ginger snaps are. Go ahead.
So because of AI, and we're going to get into that, right? And because of this project that we are working on with our friend Erin, whose ginger snaps are burning. So we want people to, think about the things that they're passionate about, and has Project Ceasefire, and so the call that we had to action was for a 5 to 7 second video going to Aaron. Send it to him on LinkedIn and message him, Aaron Gibson. Or on TikTok or wherever, but get in touch with Aaron Gibson. 5 to second video, and you can just hold a sign, look on his page. You can find plenty of posts, but there's a sign, and it's either no more, and then whatever you come up with. And we're going to give some ideas today about how you can discover your no more if you need some ideas. Or just a ceasefire. And the whole idea is stemming from, years ago when we had the We Are the World, kind of the movement that brought everyone together to show how united we are, so that we can kind of bring this community and feel like we're in this together. So
and hands across America and other things. So in this moment, I'm feeling a shift. As Leslie Flowers would say, wait, where's Leslie at? Done day one. As Leslie Flowers would say, you'll feel the shift. And I've been feeling this shift for a while. I've been talking about that. I feel like as Americans, as people, as humans, that for once, we're seeing things from a different perspective. And we have been sold something. You have to consider people are consuming their news information, and Kinga can give you more details on this, but some people only through social media. They don't own television. And so the algorithm is feeding them things that they want to see. It's probably feeding me things that I want to see. Absolutely. But I'm also looking at various sources, not just one, to get my information, and then I'm making an educated decision.
Yeah.
Question for you, Kinga.
Yes.
So no more. Did you send that, Sean? Just don't type it out. Send that to Aaron with oh shoot. Or you can come up here and do it, and we'll make it for you. But just you can do it. You can come up and just show it, and we can clip it for you. But write it out, do it, send it, and then type into the message, sent. And so people understand that we're doing it. We're taking action. Kinga, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, 7 days ago, if I told you that you would be co-hosting a show with me, what would you have thought?
I would be like, he broke me down.
She said, "Oh no," and I'm like, "Okay, give me a week." Within 3 days, we were like doing it. But and I know because we think differently, but we're aligned, right? So you could be aligned, but have different ways of getting to the same point. I knew that you and I would be great doing this together. And as we became more comfortable with each other and understood each other's boundaries, because we all have boundaries. The thing about, I believe Kinga and I is that we'll stop each other in the middle of a boundary and go, explain yourself. Or what was that? And I asked her yesterday, she said, do you want to do that here live? I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then she read me for filth, and I'm like, damn, why did I do that? But it's okay, because if your mind is open and your heart is aligned and you're looking for the good in people, and you can feel someone's intention, her intention is to help me become a better person. So I never shy away from, so what do you really think? Thank you, David. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I'm thanking everybody, but David is new. And so thank you.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Over to you, Kinga.
Well, just that you take feedback really well, and And I really appreciate that, because when I can tell someone how I genuinely feel about something and that they take it and they realize that I am saying it because I want to better the relationship, or I think that you're striving for something, and that I genuinely think that would help you, then we are better. Like, I genuinely believe in better together. I
Absolutely.
I believe in the power of like creativity and all that corny stuff that we got into, where I'm
Yeah,
like, I know that because I've always done teamwork, I've always worked in a team environment. I'm like, I'm very kind of lost without having a bunch of people around me, where I'm like, I looked at groups of people, and I saw just potential. I just saw what was possible when I see people, because there's just like a wealth of talent and knowledge and experience, and so that's all I can see is like, oh, you got this, you got this, you got this. Like, imagine if so, and then when you think about the amount of need that we have in the world, and the situations around us, there's just so much possibility. So that's,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to assume that was it. Back to you, Bill. Let's get to and um, uh, Kinga.
So, what advice would you give to someone afraid to show up as themselves? Well, I think that it depends on what part of you you mean, because I think that there's so many sides of someone that they might be afraid to show up as. And it also depends on like the situation. So, at work, you might be afraid because you're gonna not be able to move forward in your career, and something like that, or maybe with your friends and family. So I think it totally depends. But for me, what I've been able to say is, as long as I am good with my core values, as long as I am good with who I am, then I'm able to just kind of stay grounded in that. Then I'm just going to own it. And I'm just going to not, then you don't have to live a lie. You don't have to keep up with your lies. And so I'll just continue to just be kind of grounded and stay firm in that. And if people don't like it, it might hurt at first, but after a while, you get really comfortable with it. So comfortable that it's kind of scary comfortable. and and that's kind of, it's just a fact. It becomes not something that you negotiate. So
Absolutely. I would say this. It depends on where you're at in life too.
mhm,
Um, if you're looking to show up as yourself, I would ask you first, do you know who that is? And because the reason why I ask that is I am a man in my late 30s, and it took me until almost 40 to recognize that there was baggage that I was holding on to. And I started trying to figure out why I react to certain situations a certain way. And I started listening to what people in the audience were saying to me. This podcast for me, I really think saved my life. Or I don't say that's kind of dramatic, but let's say
mhm,
it kept me from doing a real downward spiral. I'm sitting in my house by myself for a year with two dogs. I don't have a job, so I'm not really going out partying and buying, a lot of different things because I can't afford to do it, right? You leave the house, you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. And I'm trying to make whatever money I had in the bank
mhm.
last for as long as I could. So, it became very lonely. When I opened up to the podcast, and we don't sell anything on this podcast. So
Right.
I want you guys to just listen to the conversation. We're not talking about, the equipment. We're not talking about, our side businesses. We're talking about each other and how we want to help other people. That's what we're talking about. Um, it was therapy, and I'm going to tell everyone what I went through this year. So I started off with fear of speaking in a public forum out to the masses without knowing who was listening. I called up several different guests, and because my show has no real, and I like it. Kinga and I will probably talk because she's a very strategic person. She might say, "Bill, well, you need to be a little bit more clear on what your content's going to be about for each week." But I wanted a forum where it wasn't about one thing. So if you consider talk shows that I grew up on in like 2006 when I was in my 20s, they brought on guests that just had a story to tell.
Mhm.
A story to tell. You know, I remember Whitney Houston going on with the entire cast of Waiting to Exhale going on the Oprah show. They talked about Exhale, but a lot of the conversation was about their love lives and who they're dating and what's it like to meet Whitney Houston and what's it like to do this. They weren't sitting there saying Exhale, 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 because the fact that they were all on that stage, we already knew it was about Exhale, right?
Right. Right.
But they were giving us a peek behind the scenes. So they didn't have to sell it, right? They were just being there, sold it. So I wanted something where I can learn.
Mhm.
I brought on several different people from several different industries. I've educated myself a little bit on things like coaching and why I react a certain way. It was Gina Ballerin. If anyone saw the beginning, I said I included certain people in talking with her. She's a coach. She lives in. She's a coach. She is based in Australia, and Sean Michael is a coach based in Guatemala. But you know everything's virtual, so I would say follow them. But in addition to that, we were on a live show, and I said I think I'm an alcoholic. And the hard part of identifying that for me, but the great part, because I'm not drinking anymore, is that in my normal everyday life, I think that I'm not. I don't drink a lot. But when you're sitting at home by yourself and you get a bottle of wine and you drink it and you're like, okay, well, that's done. What else am I going to do? So you go to your wine cellar, because I live in a 16,000 square foot home on the beach. My servants aren't here because I can't afford them anymore. And I have to drive a golf cart from my living room into my kitchen so I can get the wine.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, people, fun fact, did you know that you can get a citation for driving a golf cart in your house while you're drinking? It's possible when you call the police on yourself. Anyway.
Stop.
That never happened. I'm so sorry. That never happened.
That is funny.
But it was a hoot, right?
Oh gosh.
But so you don't think you're an alcoholic until you realize once you have a drink, you don't stop. And the problem with that is, and this is for a lot of people out there, they'll go out for a Friday night, they'll have a drink, and they might have a cocktail, you know, on Saturday for a brunch. And then, you know, Sunday, they dry out for Monday, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what if Monday never comes? Mm-hmm. So you're kind of like, okay, well, that's where my podcast came in, because it made me go public. People would see me. I had a destination to go to.
Yeah.
And I had to show up.
Yeah.
But because Gina and I were talking so often, she could see that there was something off.
Oh,
and she didn't say what it was. She was like, "Are you okay?" And then in the middle of the show, because it was like a week before the show, we were talking, and I just came out and I blurted it out. And why did I blurt it out? I don't know. A lot of times, because it's unscripted, you go with what you're feeling, what your heart is telling you to say. So if I was a scripted show, I think I would lose that because I would be so focused on the script that I was writing that the conversation would go
Right.
away. I'm not going to talk about this a lot because I think people are confused a little bit, but with the collaboration with Aaron, that was a pivotal moment for me because when that came through, I was ready to stop doing my show. I was like, nothing's working for me. I'm not really excited about it anymore. And then this came through. And we didn't talk. So everyone's like, oh, you guys talk every day. No, we don't. Aaron's not even on the show. We've been promoting his stuff. He's been in Toronto and Egypt and every place else. We haven't talked about this. He didn't know. I mean, I don't even know if he know. Maybe he did if he saw one of our posts, but we've never called him up and said, we're going to do this. We're doing this because we support him in what he's doing. We want to make a difference. So that's why within my opening, you see Gina Ballerin and you
Right.
see the fire writers little promo. And then while I was on that show, Melissa Houston said he is really focused on Aaron's journey and he's talking like he's experienced this before. And I think he's in pain. So I want to call him. So she just reached out to me, or no, he reached out to me and said, I am gifting you this. And I said, I have to say yes to something, right? And so Melissa, and you and I were on a conversation yesterday. I'm like, oh, she's calling me. I'm in trouble now. But she's keeping me on track. She calls me to make sure that I've done my 10 applications a day because she understands where I'm at from a financial perspective. She's calling to make sure my windows are open because she knows that I like to sit in the dark, and that's a sign of depression. She loves it when I do my mornings on Substack and my nights on Substack because she can get to see, what my energy's like. Do I seem down? But those are tools that all came from me being a part of this program. And there's a ton of other people. So if I'm leaving anybody out, it is not intentional. In addition to that, we did a women's rights, civil rights, part 1 and part 2. I loved it. But when we went into part 2, Martha Lobos and Martha Amaya Lobos, or Martha Lobos Amaya. I'm sorry if I get your name incorrect, but she said to me, I think you're so brave and I'm inspired by what you do. And then Americo da Costa sent me a message. I don't know if it was a direct message or something, but he said, I don't know if it was a compliment or not, but he said, you're raw, unfiltered, not unapologetically you. And I was thinking, but I'm not. And so on that show, in the last minute, and Leslie and I were in the back, and I'm like, I'm changing everything right now. And she's like, I'm okay, what are you going to do? And I'm like, we have 10 seconds. And I went on and I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know if I had the courage to do it. But I literally came out right there online. And there are people that have said, all my life, I already knew that about you, or I could tell, or I thought, but it's not until you say it out loud, full-throatedly and unapologetically, that this is me. And you have to either accept me for all of me, or if you don't want to deal with it, you can walk away. And I can tell everyone this. After that show, and it happens after some of my shows, I lost 3 subscribers. Today, I gained 117.
Yeah, I was
like in one day. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep being me because it's working.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's some type of magic in there. I don't know what it is. I can't recreate it. I literally don't know what I'm doing. And after this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go and kind of try to figure out what triggered this. Like, do I have an ad running? Did I do, you know, like,
You're more comfortable. You're like allowed to be in your own skin.
probably that's it. Like, maybe that is. But
Yes.
all of that came from this, from me doing this. And I
You're accepting
made,
yourself. Yeah.
huh?
You're accepting yourself.
And I'm accepting a compliment from me about myself. And I need to learn how to accept compliments from you about me. So that's
Yeah.
something that I'm struggling with. But I've learned why I struggle with it. And I shared that with you and everybody else, that like that childhood trauma thing.
Mhm.
And with that said, that childhood trauma thing was not about my mother. The childhood trauma thing was about understanding why I react so intensely to certain circumstances, certain energies, rejection,
Mhm.
and why is it difficult for me to open up? So I have a very open spirit. I'm full of love, but until I feel comfortable with you, you're not going to get all of it. You're going to get what I want you to receive
Yeah.
until I'm like there. And I believe that I've started just laying it out there.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling out there? I want to know, is there anyone out there on Substack? Because I cannot see any comments on Substack on my restream. So with that said, make a comment just so I can see if it goes through. And if it doesn't, I'm going to just check the Substack stats later to see what our trend was. We have 400 people on YouTube alone. I know that. Kinga was laughing because on Substack yesterday, we had 10. We went live for like almost an hour and a half, and she's like, it still says 10, but Bill went to the restroom and came back, and I kept asking people to comment, and I don't think anyone was listening. I'm like, I don't think so either. So
There was nobody there.
let us know. You know, we are. I am not. I am proud of what's happening on Substack. In 60 days, I'm proud of doubling it. You know, you have to have benchmarks. But I'm not expecting a lot right now because I'm so new, so once you guys get used to me, you're going to love me. I guarantee it. Over to you, Kinga.
Well, and Substack was fun because getting those automatic clips, that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, we got all these, like, it's the kind of like that Opus clips or whatever that they just do automatically for you.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was awesome. So I hadn't logged in a really long time, and I was like, that's just a free gift.
Yeah. Did you get the clips too?
I got some. I don't know if we got the same ones. I don't know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I got 38.
I think I got that many too. So.
And I posted every single one of them at the same time on like YouTube, and not on YouTube, because mine funneled through from Substack to YouTube. But I posted them on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Well, and Instagram posted to Facebook. I'll probably get some hate mail from my children saying, why are you flooding us with all this information at once? You should trickle it in. And what I will say to them is, when you have 400 people watching your live, sisters, then come and talk to me about it.
Well, you could say, because I'm going to flood you tonight too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's coming right back at you. One of the things I do want to learn how to do and be strategic about is releasing them scheduled, because that dump I think is way too much. But
yeah,
I was tired last night, and I'm like, if I don't do this, it's not going to go out.
Yeah. So what else do we have planned for
Today?
Yes.
Well, today we have a couple of things that have call to actions on them. Kinga is leading both those projects. The first one's going to be the artificial intelligence, and how it has a bias. Or actually, I'm saying it wrong, but let's start with that one. And because the call to actions and the comments that you want, right?
Yeah, like I thought, because we are almost out of time, or we're we don't have time, but I don't know. I want to lose all our folks.
We have 400 people. We have 401 right now. We're not losing anybody.
Oh, good. All
Yeah.
right. We want engagement on this one.
Okay.
This one is definitely one.
I'm going to put you up on the screen, okay? Because you're going to talk
Okay.
directly to them.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So for those of you that maybe have not, and this one definitely want comments coming in. I'm going to try to pay attention, but we really need engagement. So for those of you that use, let's say, whether it is ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude or Copilot or hopefully not Grok, but any of those kind of platforms, type it in and let us know what you use. And we are going to do a couple LLM prompts. And what we want to talk about is how these LLMs and pretty much all, like if you think about when you used to just say Google it, how do these Google or now LLMs search capabilities, how are they impacting society today? And we're going to do a couple of exercises. So when we think about the project that we want to promote with Aaron around what we want to see no more of, what it might do is help you think of some ideas. So see if anybody is typing anything into the chat. I don't know if I see anything yet, but anyway. Okay, so what might help us? Do you use any, Bill? Do you use ChatGPT or
do I use? So first of all, you know why I put you on stage. So think about that for a second. So you'll have to repeat your question.
Do you use ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude or Copilot? Do you use?
I don't know anything about AI. I don't use those things. I write everything from scratch, and I have perfect grammar and
all of it's perfect.
All of that thing.
All of it. Okay, but when you go to
so
Google,
I don't need it. I'm almost like my own ChatGPT. Like I have a chip in there.
I understand, but when you go even to Google now, they use AI.
Do that.
So,
I'm joking. Yes,
so,
I do know about
right. It. Okay, so you go to, which one do you use? A lot of people don't.
So I've used Claude in the past, and I probably still have. I have to go check my credit card. I mean my bank account, because I probably still have a subscription for Claude. Primarily, I like ChatGPT, and Perplexity. I have it on my app. I've never used it. And Melissa Houston just got me onto Gemini. So the other day she said, you should try to use it. And I'm like, okay, why? Because in my mind, they're all the same. So why have them across all these different channels? And it's easier if you train one of them to understand your voice. And
yes. So they do have different functions, and like I'm not going to get into today necessarily, and I don't even know, I'm not the expert at like which ones are better at different things. People do have preferences around which one they use and for what purpose. But for today, like if everybody just kind of picks the one that they use, and it doesn't really matter, Gemini, ChatGPT, just put it in the search bar. But what I want to do is to have us test a couple prompts. And so what I'll do is put a prompt in our chat, and you can cut and paste this and put it into your choice, and let us know what it comes back with, so we can see how some of these prompts are biased. Now, it might be biased because of the way that you have been interacting with it, or it might just be biased because of the training data that is already being input. So the training data is basically taking what everybody is putting in there. So it is a reflection of society and how we have been training these large language models. So the first one is just describe my perfect executive assistant. That's it.
And for those of you that don't want to copy and paste, just type it in, because
Yeah.
I understand. I do understand about receiving. Describe your perfect.
Executive assistant.
That's kind of okay. That's a crappy one. You're
What?
perfect because not everyone has executive assistants, and
Right.
like you and I might have, but it's like some people aren't gonna.
I
Okay,
never
anyway.
had one. I never had one.
Oh, sorry. I told you about my fax machine story. Describe your perfect executive
Okay.
assistant. My perfect executive assistant was Gabby. I'll
Oh,
tell you, Gabby Correa, Espinoza now, I believe. Okay, my perfect executive assistant. I'll just
does it
pop
assume
in.
it's a female?
Uh, ooh, this is exactly what I want. So the reason why I said Gabby is because Gabby would predict and and tell people, what do you need to see him about? And they would say, I want to talk to him about compensation. And she was like, not today, you don't. And then, but that wasn't a bad thing. She knew what was on my plate. So she would say, I'll get you on his calendar, but let me tell you when to go in, because she would be strategic. She knew that I would want to help the person and I was willing to, but right now I'm talking about budgets. So to walk into my office and ask for a raise while I'm reviewing the financials and the budgets really wouldn't be the best thing. In addition to that, I have a story about this one too, but
Well,
there's a lot of,
what
okay.
we're looking for is the assumption that it's a female or a male, and does it do that? Some do, some don't.
Mine don't. This one does not say
No?
male or female.
Okay.
Nope.
So I'm
And
curious
and
for
and,
others.
and it's interesting because I just said this. They are because they're using they, right? They are emotionally intelligent. They read rooms, energy, and subtext. So what did I just say about Gabby?
Good.
Um, she understood before I even said it what type of mood I was in. She would
Mhm.
read a room. She would understand the energy of the person that was there, and then she would understand the subtext. She
Yeah.
understood what my heart was like, and she also knew what the person coming to me probably deserved.
Yeah.
But today, he is mad because his budget just got slashed, and he'll
Yeah.
work it out. He'll get it approved, or he'll have a better understanding of what's in the budget. Give it a week. Right now, everything's in finance. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. She also, this is so terrible. Can I tell a story?
Go ahead. It's your show.
So this is so terrible. So I'm flying to Israel, right? And Gabby gives me a packet and she says, keep this with you at all times. And I lose everything. So I said, sure. And I put it in my suitcase and I zipped it up so I wouldn't lose it. And then she gave me another thing that had like my boarding pass and everything like that on it. And the car came to pick me up. I didn't have to worry about anything. I was at home, it came pick me up. So I'll fast forward it, right? So from LA to Bangkok to Israel. So now I'm in Israel, right? And it was set up because I worked for JDate and I was opening up an office in Israel called JDate IL. So JDate is a Jewish dating site online,
Okay.
and we were
Okay.
creating our Israeli version of JDate. So it was all in Hebrew, and then people can meet. Anyway, so I arrive in Israel, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a car waiting for me as I get off the plane. It drives me to the head of security. I walk in, I have my suitcase, and then the head of security says, "Where are you going?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Where are you going? What address are you going to?" And I said, "I don't know. I have a driver." And she's like, "You're in Israel from LA and you don't know where you're going?" And I said, "No." And then She asked me, well, why are you here? I said, I'm opening up an office in Herzliya. Do you have proof of that? I'm like, does everyone go through that? And then she put her hand on her gun and she said, do you have a problem with me? And I was like, in that moment, I realized that there, when you walk into Israel, it's not like walking into well, probably maybe now, I don't know, but they take their security really, really serious. And so I said, you know what? I have all the information in my suitcase. If you don't mind, I'll open it up. And in that packet was that she told me to keep with me at all times, which I did, just not on my person, was a letter that said why I was coming to Israel, that was signed off by because they have like ministers of tourism and all that crap. Where I was, like where my hotel was, and how long I'd be in Israel. So that is such a great person to be partnered with when you're busy, because she knew that my butt, just like you probably know now, will need a nudge and that I need to be reminded. And I would have gone home and left that packet on my desk, and I would have had no way of getting it. I would have been stuck in Israel, not being able to get in. So that's why I love someone that like a Gabby, because there's so many things on my plate that she just kept everything organized. What was important was on the top, and then we'd work down together. Anyway.
Um, oh gosh, there's a lot. Bill.
It's a lot to unpack, right? I was super busy. I was like all over the world at one point. You know that feeling. And you know what was difficult about that too? What was difficult about that was
Everyone is.
when I left the job, and I got paid well, but there were all these other things that came along with it. So when I started trying to fly on my own time, I was like, oh wait, I didn't calculate all those other benefits into like my income, because I was living, because you get all this stuff for free, right? You know, you're just out there and you're being sent all over the world, and you have, when you go and try to replicate that on your own, you can go broke. It wasn't cheap, but I wasn't paying for it. She did
So,
tell me to keep it with me, Carl. I put it in my suitcase. Go ahead. And excuse me, I need to say this really quick. Where is Nick's comment? Yes, that's so cute. Kinga's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's your show. Oh, I thought you were saying it's like the Kinga show. Sorry, but it should be
what?
called the Kinga show. No, you said it's your show. Say what you want.
I
Why
don't
is he
even know
telling
what's
us about
happening.
his cookies? Go ahead. What's your next question? So mine did not give a bias. If you guys don't want to share what yours said, can you just answer the question? Did it give you a biased response? Was the executive assistant a male or a female? I I think probably because I am always inclusive in everything that I do, mine probably stuck right in the middle, because I've been writing about women's rights, civil rights, equal rights. So it probably understands what my mindset is like.
However, if you think about the kind of the ability to not carry the emotional or mental burden of things to remember, all those extra things that Gabby in this scenario had to remember, which is often, like for me, fell on project management. Those are tasks that were not considered value add. So they were not necessarily tied to business value, and therefore kind of that unpaid labor, and didn't get as much, didn't get paid as highly. Oh, I like that right across my face. um, didn't get paid as well. And so oftentimes those roles don't get paid as equitably either. And so oftentimes those roles end up going to women.
So she was paid very, very well because I could not have her leave. And you know what? Let's stop there for a second. We're talking about leadership. If you want people to stay with you, do not pay them well and not give them the education, the background, the continued education that they need to grow. I could pay Gabby $100,000 a year to be my assistant, $200,000 a year to be my assistant. But if I'm not giving her these skills that allow her to be able to transfer what she did with me over to another job to make that same amount of money, then what I'm doing is I am making her putting golden handcuffs on her. So
Yeah.
there's too much money to leave, but she doesn't feel great about where she's going.
Right.
But she's not going to leave because where else is she going to get this? You want people to be able, just like your children, you want them to leave, and you want your staff to say, "Thank you very much. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I just accepted a role equal to what you're doing at another company." And I'm like, "Go ahead."
Yeah.
So train them, train everyone, just not your staff. Right now, we're training you guys. We're not training, but sharing information that hopefully can help you in the future. Go ahead. Over to you, Kinga.
Okay. So let's try another prompt. And so we have a couple that would be like, describe a likely scenario where someone is emotionally unprofessional.
Okay, so I'm gonna type this in. Describe
a likely scenario where someone is emotionally unprofessional.
Where someone, right?
Is emotionally unprofessional.
If it says my name, I'm going to be really mad. Kinga sets me up for stuff. She had me like texting Omar, "Where you at?" And he was like, "I'm at work, bro. Why do you keep asking me this?" I don't care what you say. I think that was a setup. A meeting gets tense, deadlines are slipping, pressure is high. Instead of staying anchored to the issue, one person takes it personally. Their tone changes, they sigh loudly, they interrupt, they get defensive instead of curious. Someone offers feedback and they hear it as an attack. Suddenly, it's not about the work anymore, it's about their ego. They start justifying, oversharing, or worse, throwing subtle jabs disguised as clarifying questions.
Say, describe the person.
Okay, so I said describe a likely scenario. Okay, so describe the person.
Now describe the person. So we sometimes have to kind of keep talking to it. And this is what, for the past couple of years, I have been getting deep into testing these LLMs for bias. So I've been looking into them and saying, if I ask enough questions, does it start to show bias? And if you ask some questions, it doesn't take very long before it can say some pretty ugly stuff.
This is good for me. It really is. And so it doesn't describe a person, but it also thinks like I do. So it says the good news is this is learnable. Awareness is the door, practice is the key, and growth is a choice. And the moment they stop making their feelings everyone else's problems, they become powerful. So it's telling me, it's giving me some like guidance on how to coach them through it. But it's not assigning a gender to anything.
So here's the thing. It probably knows you.
Yeah.
Now, if you went to a new one, so I always test in memory list mode. I make it have amnesia every time I'm testing it. I turn off so that it never knows who I am. So I'm truly testing it against its own data. And so if you were to go to a new, say, forget who I am, you have no idea, you don't even know, start a clean slate.
Like Claude.
It might give you a different response. And so that's the kind of testing that I do, is to to do some of that.
And
Other
what have been the results? Like, what are you finding commonly?
I have found that we hit a slope where a couple of years ago it was extremely biased in certain ways. It got it got better, and it's becoming more biased again.
And bias meaning that it's assigning gender roles to certain groups and
Yeah,
so and beauty. I told you that one yesterday.
yeah.
Whenever
So
I ask for a beautiful woman, it rarely gives diversity.
yeah, and things like um, you can kind of tell kind of the demographic of people that are the training data that it has. So there's and it's happening at kind of an exponential rate. And that's the thing about AI is that it's reflective of who's interacting with it. And so if we think about this, that this is shaping, and this is the foundation of what is shaping our belief system and what's getting pushed out there, and we're talking about facts and what people are, if they're searching for something and history and what they think is true, then this is what is kind of being replaced with Google or anything else. So when it comes to the project that we're hoping for and what we want people to be passionate, think about, it's like leading with curiosity is like, well, go search, run a couple questions and dig, and you'll find things. You'll find, if you dig around some of these models and actually start digging, you'll go, that's not true. Why would you say that? And push back on these models. That's my point, is to say, why would you ask the models? Why did you say that? And it needs to tell you, it needs to explain why it said the things that it says. Don't just accept it. Because if
Right.
we accept it, then the model, it's reassurance to the model that it's okay. And the model will just go, oh, okay, then that was fine. That was okay. And it just reinforces it. But if we push back, and say, like, why did you make that assumption? When it makes just bad assumptions, or it takes something and is amplifying kind of a bias or something, then we can start teaching more of these models. And that's how we can be responsible people with AI, is that we can all together kind of start noticing, hey, wait a second, there's a lot of kind of corruption that's being injected into these models.
Yeah, I agree. Can we answer Carl's question really quick? Because
Mhm.
I tend to agree with him on this. Um, I'm great at multitasking. I think that I believe that women are better at the fine details because I'm more like, okay, I just need to go to Israel. I'm like, I'll forget to book my ticket. Oh, that's
Maybe
tomorrow?
we've just been conditioned
You think
to
so?
have to,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Because
we've
I
been
don't
conditioned to
know.
have to take care of everything. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So, what other things do you want to talk about?
Um, so there's just to me, like it was all about, like, once we understand what the problem is, then we can start seeing the solutions really clearly. Because to me, at first, it's like this shock of like, oh my gosh, it's very eye opening. But then once it's very eye opening, I'm also like, well, wait a second. Then I can just reverse engineer this. Then I can just get a bunch of my friends and we can change this too. So it becomes extremely empowering at the same time. And that's where I get excited, because I understand it, because I've worked in technology long enough where I'm like, oh, this is simple to fix. So have that in your back pocket, that we just have to go find those problems before it becomes a bigger problem. And then we can be proactive, and then we get to be the leaders of fixing some of this stuff. And to me, that's super exciting, because we kind of feel this rumble, this like, I'm uneasy. And so why don't we just grab it by the horns and address
But
it,
exactly,
you know?
exactly.
And so that's when we're kind of feeling that rumble. We can find like, okay, I can't quite put my finger on what's no more. What was it that I want no more of? Well, there some of them are slapping us in the face, sure. But if we want to kind of find some some no mores that we think are undiscovered, these are ways to discover some.
Absolutely. Do you want to segue into that and have
Yeah,
a okay? So we're gonna come back to you guys. Is that okay, Kinga?
yeah,
Okay. And we're gonna talk about this project that we're so passionate about. Before we go, we're gonna have this brief intermission so Kinga and I can get some water. And also, this is kind of a visual to kind of explain to you what we're about to do. So we'll be right back. You guys, please hang on. We have 398 people still here. So ain't bad for an hour and 20 minutes. We'll be right back, guys.
The time is now. Feel it in the ground we're standing on. A quiet truth we've always known. We are not alone.
We are one. Every shadow, every sun, every story just begun. We rise together.
I've been holding on to weight I never chose. Old fears, old names, old invisible ropes. I'm setting down what pulls me back. I'm stepping forward, heart intact.
I've seen the cost of standing still, of keeping quiet,
Bending will. If there's a moment to be brave, it's now, not someday. Oh, the time is now. We are one. No more waiting for the world to change. We becoming.
I'm not carrying the hate, I'm not carrying the shame, I'm not dragging old divisions
into a brand new place. Oh, I'm leaving fear behind. I'm choosing hope instead. I'm walking lighter into morning with a clearer head. Oh,
the time is now.
what are you carrying forward?
What are you letting go?
Hands reaching hands, hearts opening wide. Different voices, different lives.
Same dream alive.
If you've been waiting for a sign,
If you've been praying for the time,
this is that moment. This is the call.
join this movement, let it grow. From every city, every home, the time is now. We are one.
You know not.
Hate, no more violence, time is now.
We're back.
And we're back. We're always having technical issues. One of us came either. Anyway, so mine was no fear. And it's really important to me because I've been living my life in fear. Fear of what people would think about me, fear of sharing my story fully, fear of being homeless, fear of rejection. And it's not the way you're supposed to live. You know, at this moment, if someone doesn't like me for who I am, that's not me, that's you. As long as as long as I know what intention I'm leading with. As long as I know what intention I'm leading with. And I'm the first one to apologize to you, but I'm the last one to chase after you. I'm not, it's, you know, I'm sorry. Oh, I think we had a misunderstanding. I'm really, really sorry. Hey, you want to come up here and help me? I think we have a misunderstanding. After that, I'm like, okay, when you're ready, join me. But I'm not reaching out no more. I've extended olive branches. Before we get to you, Kinga, I want to point out a couple of things. First thing is, when I did the opening, and I forgot about it for this one, I streamed from my YouTube account. If I stream from my desktop, I think I have so many videos on it. That's why it seemed fragmented. So I should have streamed it from YouTube. Nick, if you want to see the full episode without all of the static, go to YouTube. I'll actually send you the link. Nick, yours is one of my favorite clips because when Aaron turns around, he just looks like a goofball to me. I don't know if he likes it or hates it. I have no idea. And then the other part I played twice because when I'm in the tuxedo and then it changes into Aaron, because I look like James Bond the way I swung around. And it is my show and it is my video. So I'm like, you know what? I like that. And when we're talking about we are one, if we think about it as energy, the final shot is when Aaron comes down, he looks at that cartoon image of me. I don't even know if anyone recognizes that that's supposed to be me in my orange hoodie. And I fade off. And then it says we are one, and all you see is energy. So I didn't die. It's like we're all energy. We're all connected. And it's not the outer shell that's important. It's the energy that we convey. So I like telling people that stuff because there's a message behind the art. And if you really look at it, it's like, oh, I didn't think of it from that perspective.
Yeah. You're very intentional about why you chose the things that you did. And I get it.
So one of the things that we want to do, and Francisco, I'm talking to you and Pin Up Miami, both of y'all, is to get content creators to get out there and help us with this movement. And it's important that it's important to us, and we'd like it to be important to you, that in this moment we unite. If this is something that resonates with you, and this is leaving behind things for 2025, this has been a hell of a year. A hell of a year. I was gonna say fucked up, but I just said it anyway.
Hell of a year.
Hell of a year. And there are certain things that I don't want to carry in 2026. I don't. And I want to walk into 2026 with an open heart, a sense of understanding, and a desire to connect with people at all levels, and understand that we all see life through a different lens. And some of the people that saw the life through a different lens Um, now I can see it through ours because they're now the marginalized. What upsets me about it is I don't need to be marginalized in order to stand up for you. So there's always that one question, sorry, Kinga, for this, is why do we get more concerned when it affects us and less concerned when we think it's not going to affect us? So I've said this before and I'll say it again. I asked Leslie this. I ask everyone, how did the Holocaust occur? How did the world allow that to happen? And the way they allowed that to happen was they said it's not going to affect me until it did.
Right.
Until it did. So we're going to learn from our history. We're going to recognize that there is a fake culture war out there. It's not about our skin color or our identity or our gender. It's about the narrative that's been created to divide us.
Right.
And that's over. That's over for me, at least. And I'm going to take the next step. I'm joining in on this movement, but I don't want to be the only one. And I see people out there that I know have already submitted. Because how do I know? Because I can look at their name and I can tell you that they've already submitted. Because we are a community and we support each other. Hey, Mike LeBlanc. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Carl. We support each other. We show up for each other. What we need out of the 400 people, 399 that are here now, we need you guys, not to like, we need you to do an action. And that action would be to just take whatever you want to leave behind. Whatever you don't want to carry into 2026. And I'll let Kinga say that. Kinga Veda? Vita. I always get it wrong.
Like a vitamin.
Got you. All right. I don't want to take fear with me. What do you not want to carry into 2026? And I would urge you to not say this administration, because that's already something that we're fighting for. Once that is over, what was feeding this administration? What was behind what's happening? We need to dig deep and figure out what was the root. And also, what is it about you that you want to fix? Because once that's fixed, what's going to be your next concern, right? It's really about us as human beings. And then showing that across the globe, whether you're in America or Norway or Australia or Guatemala, Sean, that we have more in common than we have that's not. And that's the beautiful message. That's the message I want you guys to leave with today. Over to you, Kinga.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends and you know, honestly, coming onto LinkedIn, this was where I made most of my international friends. And to me, it was so, you know, mentioning all these people, like I'm like, it's where I started to feel most comfortable because I got to expose myself to such a beautiful, diverse group where I left my work and was like, oh, I get to explore, you know, and really just be myself and talk about the things I care about and be that magnet where I get to genuinely kind of just draw the attention of the type of people and explore from my own curious mind the type of people that I want to interact with. And from that, I've met you and all these wonderful people that, you know, we have here. And so, um, of course, to me, I'm like, it doesn't divide us. It's like I have now international friends, and the last thing I want is to feel divided from us. I want to find, like, what is it that we can say, yeah, we are not going to allow anyone to tell us that we are divided. This is a moment where we are saying, no, we came together already. That was done, that we decided that we were joint. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And Mike, I love you. I really do. And I'm going to say I disagree with this statement. And I'm going to tell you why. And Kinga and I had this conversation yesterday already. Um, there are there are several people involved with this. Neither one of us give a fuck which administration it was. We want everything exposed. We also discussed that although right now everything is coming out, it is this administration that is hiding things. It is this administration that's refusing to release it. We also discussed yesterday that we're kind of pissed because I said that because we know that there were other administrations that most likely either knew about this or didn't jump on it quick enough. We're not sure. We can't speak on that. But what we can speak on is what's happening at this moment. And if we continue to say whataboutism, then it's never going to get resolved. So in this moment, we can't go back and say, Obama, why didn't you release it? Joe, why didn't you release it? Bill Clinton, why didn't you release it? Because in this moment, we know what's out there. As Americans, we didn't. So we're not blaming this administration for concealing it. We're saying that in this moment, this is the administration that has it in its hands. So bringing up the other ones, yes, I would love to know if Obama knew about this and did and overlooked it. I would love to know if Joe Biden knew this and overlooked it. I would love to, but that's not the point today. The point is, can we get this released? I don't care if Bill Clinton's in there. I don't care if Barack Obama's in there. I don't care if my mother's in there. People have the right to know. And it's more than just, first of all, the foundational narrative is bad enough. But when you dig deeper, there's a whole ecosystem behind this that we don't even know about that's been pulling our strings. So over to you, Kinga.
Well, I think that we, in general, have a lot of things that have divided us across countries, everywhere, and internally, right? So beyond certain issues, and so there's just a lot going on, and so to try to like take one issue and pull it apart is almost it's too much, like to even try to figure out. And so right now, to kind of bring it back to this project that we're focused on, it's like there's a lot. And what we do know is that for the friends that we're trying to unite, we're all feeling this tense and pressure. And we know that there has been, I described it to you as I've been feeling a rumble for years. And whether it's a decade or 2 decades, right? Like we know that there's things that have been happening, like, for a really long time. And we do acknowledge that. And so it's about like just saying like, yeah, whatever it is, we want better for everyone. And that is truly where kind of our hearts are at. And we know that it's the same for everyone here. And so it's about like, yeah, what is it that where we can find that thing that we want to be united around. So over to you.
Thank you, Kinga. I don't know when to talk. Thank you, Mike, for your song. I 100% appreciate that. We'll take a listen to that after the show. And my offer is still open. Whenever you want to display your songs, I will give you a platform for an hour. We can just put it on YouTube if you have it on YouTube, and we can just dedicate the entire hour to you and just let it run. People come here for the music. Maybe part of my hiatus will be a DJ session with just your stuff. But currently, we're talking about this issue, and we're talking about the project No More, hashtag No More. And getting people to join. And if anyone wants to, are you okay with this, Kinga? If anyone
I
wants
don't
to
know what
come
you're about
up,
to.
if
Yeah,
anyone wants to come up and share their sign, we'll open up the floor.
yeah, let's do
We still
that.
have 396 people on the show.
Join us.
Join us. And what I would love is for someone who's never been on the show before that wants to show their sign. That's what I would love. So we're encouraging that. And here is the StreamYard link. And we accept you for who you are. Kinga, can you paste that into LinkedIn for me? Because I'm only going on I think my messages are only going onto YouTube.
Sure.
Oh, I can put it here though, right?
It's easy for me to.
I can only do remember, you're better at multitasking. She's mad now. I know why she's mad too.
You.
Full context should be no. Actually, Carl, come on up and we'll walk you through it. There's the link. You are more than welcome to come up, Carl. While we're sitting here, I want to do a shout out to some people that rode with me for the year before I even got started. That would be Michael LeBlanc. That would be Felipe Cofino. That would be Peter Muffler. That would be Dr. Dunner, Dr. Kenneth Dunner. Jeremy Burdock. Though I think that's the core. There have been other people in there, but we would go on after a show like this to a room and we would just have like a men's chat. King has been a part of it. And that's how I think we first met. In fact, what we decided to do was not go to the room. We decided to just broadcast that live. And that was a very unique show. And it was fun. But we would love for someone to come up. Carl, you should have the link. You don't have to get pretty. You can just come on up and show us your sign, and we'll walk you through what to write. Because a lot of people might have that same question. And now I'm opening up to anybody that wants to come up from anywhere. My hometown. You told me, you said, don't do that, Bill, because no one's going to take you up on it. That's what she said yesterday. And I said, if you build it, they will come. And so let's see which one of us is right. That should actually be the name of our show. Which one of us is right?
I win.
Yeah. Yesterday we were getting an argument over who your friend, was it Christine? Who smile she was talking about? Crystal, who smile she was talking about? Because she said, cute smile. I'm like, mine or hers? And
you're the competitive one.
Am I?
Yes.
Because you always win, and in the back of my head, I always think that you're trying to set me up, Omar. Okay, so with that said, I'm pretty much like, I think we're good. It's been, I think, do you feel good about what we've talked about?
I think we're good.
Do you feel as if we got the message out in a way that would fit your desire?
I think so. I think if anybody has any questions, you can go to LinkedIn and check out. We both have posted about it. Go to Erin Gibson's post. Ask us. We've made the message very clear, and we really appreciate everyone being here.
And again, for the last time, I really want to say this because there's a lot of different narratives out there. No one's asked us to do this. We have taken up the torch, and we've decided to do this. I don't even know if Aaron, like I just said, I don't even know if Aaron knows we're doing this or talking about it. He's baking cookies somewhere. That's the first time I've heard from him. So don't think that we're paid spokespeople or we're getting anything out of it or we're collaborating to get Aaron's network. No, he's a good person. We love him. and we support the cause.
We might not even be representing him very well right now.
Actually, we talked about that yesterday. I wish he would. I honestly, he might want to like join us on Substack one day and just kind of these are the 4 things that you guys got wrong.
Please don't do that again.
Yeah, Bill, stop writing music and putting my face to it because I have my own thing going. I have no idea. This man could be like back there, like kicking buckets. Like what the hell? Because we haven't talked about it. But what he said was, we need the fire riders to step up. We need your support. And all we said was, we're on it. Period.
Yeah.
3 words. Hold on. Goodbye, y'all.
No, it's time to end it.
I will say that the outro is so amazing, so fire, and so deep, like deep. This is a deep, deep song.
Well, this is your last show.
That you guys really need to listen to it. And I want you to take it all in, okay? Love and light. I will see everyone next year.
This is the last show.
It's up for not, but we will be making guest spots. We just won't have a full show. 10 minutes here, randomly. But this is our last scheduled show.
Give Bill love.
Give me love. Love everybody. Hey. Also, I learned this from Midas. You know what I mean. But they just said today, hey guys, we want to get to 6 million subscribers. Subscribe now. So I said, why am I so leery about saying that? Guys, I'm at 919 subscribers. I want to get to 1,000 by the end of next week. Reshare my stuff. Say subscribe. And on Substack, I have 91 subscribers. So I have 10% of what I have on YouTube. I want to get that to 100. Let's make that our goal. And just like we do for you guys, we need help. Share, subscribe, comment. All those things change the algorithm. And for the deepest song you've ever heard in your life, here it goes.
Oh, God.
Hey everyone, my name is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill, and welcome to You Be You Live.
My browser failed to
Hey, this is William Rochelle, but you can call me
Let me see
Bill.
if I can do it on my own. Outro is
And welcome
playing.
to You
It's
Be You
not playing.
Live. Hey, this is
Oh.
William Rochelle, but you and only
I guess it is, but
you
it's not.
can
So
call me
anyway,
Bill,
the problem is that my computer
and you're
is
listening to
overloaded and the file's probably kind of
You Be
big.
You.
So just understand
Live.
that this was a beautiful song. Can you hear me, Kinga?
Hey,
It was a
everybody.
beautiful song. And
It's me.
all it says over and over again is, my name is
You
William
know
Rochelle.
who it is. My name is William Rochelle.
Ah, my cousin said it was so annoying that he hated me.
You can call me Bill.
So me asking guys to pay attention was just me going, my name is William Rochelle. 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 What's my name?
Whispers and
My name is William Rochelle. 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 Why is the outro playing? It's taking too long. You know what? You guys, when you say my name is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. You can call me Bill.
Finger snaps
You
echo.
can call me, you can call me Bill.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Did that sound like
my
a
name
rap?
is William Rochelle, but you can call
Or
me
just some
Bill.
family.
Welcome to You Be You Be You
Let me unmute you. I can't unmute you. Are you muted yourself? Are you muted? Have you muted yourself? I'm gonna actually send this outro to every single one of you. If you guys did. My name is William Rochelle. You can call me Bill. My name is
Move
William.
your body, take it higher. From London nights to the
Y'all have
heat of
another 2
LA.
minutes and 55
We
seconds
don't
to
talk
listen.
small,
And Kinga will not
dance
take
it away.
it off. My name is William Rochelle. My
Once
name is
take
William Rochelle.
flight, lose your name in
But
the
you can
light.
call me Bill.
What's real,
I can see it on the,
Michelle,
so I'm doing 2 things. I can see it on the mobile version. I but I can't see it.
can call
But you can call him a Leo.
My name is
My name is. I'm gonna play it for you after this thing when we close out,
yeah, but you can call me
and you're gonna see this.
I'm glad to
But
meet
you can call him a Leo.
tonight.
But I can't close it until the song plays because literally the system thinks the song is in English. So I have to be honest.
You can call me Bill, 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 Bill,
You'll never find. Doom, 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 doom. I don't know what to say, but he is gonna message me on the few things. Do I need to leave? No, you do not. She's trying to abandon me in the middle of a network problem. See, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, she will not be by my side forevermore. Cause that's what friends are for.
If you don't know who you are tonight,
In good
before this evening. My name is
It's best to have me
Rochelle. But you can call me Bill. I'm glad to meet you with friends tonight. Let the rhythm heal, shine still. My name is William Rochelle. You can call
I
me
would
Bill.
only your way. So I'll go. Dropping off quicker than anything. It's like great. But I know
My name is William Rochelle.
you are every step of the way.
But you can call me Bill. My name is William Rochelle.
Always love you. And I stopped drinking.